Testing, 1, 2. On July 29th, Rick Owens made a post that triggered me out of my existential crisis in which I haven't been able to write, to edit, to do anything, enjoy watching any shows. Part depression, part existential crisis. This is the post, by the way. Editor Makasy, can you do a voiceover please while I sit here and bite my nails and pick my nose? Our labels have been hand-stamped in our village for the last 20 years by Georgia Malavasi, who recently retired after training a new team to take her place. Hand-stamped labels were one of the things I didn't want to change when I started producing my first collection industrially in Italy, and I will continue this tradition as long as this label exists. Starting this season, we have stopped stamping the name of the seasonal collections on our labels in an effort to avoid contributing to the cycle of fashion disposability, no expiration date. As a company, we will continue to work toward further sustainable practices each season. We still have a way to go, but we can all start somewhere and aim higher. First off, thank you, Georgia Malavasi. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name, for your 20 years of beautiful work. Second, I am against this. Full transparency, at the time of this writing, I saw 3 to 6 comments, all of which share the same sentiment. I stopped because I don't want opinions of others to influence mine. I will put some comments after I make my own case. I believe I am in the majority here. I'm not like providing a hot take or anything. Also, hopefully I'm the first to post about this on YouTube. Not to say that my thoughts are original or anything, but I want my opinions to be my opinion, you know? The 2 lines are iconic. Now, I don't know if we will only get 1 line or 2 lines still, but no seasonal stamp on the second. What if Rick removed the stamp of the Rick Owens and the seasonal name? Now, that's just Dark Shadow. Doubtful, but it could happen, could be the case. I haven't bought anything from the newer collection. Or maybe Rick Owens will put the Forever tag. I don't own any product with that tag. Again, I am not an expert with Rick. I'm just a casual fan. I'm assuming the first, but who knows? It's the most plausible. Oftentimes, the stitching can be seen through the back, and I think it's a cute detail, you know, a subtle signifier that this is a Rick Owens product. Oftentimes, Rick Owens products are without logo, so it can be hard when it comes to smaller stuff like a t-shirt or sweater or the Kiss boots. I don't know if that joke worked because there's no stamp on the boots, but I needed to use a popular product to pull off. Anyway, keep going. Also, Rick, if you remove these tags, how will those archive dickheads who pride themselves on owning old stuff to show that they've been into Rick longer, thus making them superior to people who only own newer stuff from? What are they gonna do? Think of the dickhead, Rick. They might have to develop an actual personality instead of masking it with being an archive head. One of the more well-known pants from Rick Owens are these Mastodon pannier trousers. At the time of me purchasing them, I thought I had gotten a rep because mine says Flagathon, but it came out in Mastodon. I did some more research, found out that Rick re-released these for the Flagathon collection. Now, I know that sounds like I'm arguing for the seasonalist tag, but I'm not. Firstly, this will help the rap industry, for which I'm sure the financial side of Owens Corp hate. I had gotten the Babel Pusher pants from the Real, and one of the main points as to why I knew it was fake was because of the season is wrong. Removing the seasonal stamp makes the job of these replica people a lot easier. Removing the stamp makes it a bit easier for those cunts that sell rep as real on Grail and eBay. A big fan will not fall for these, but you know, there are a lot of newer Rick fans who will be starstruck by the price tag, the low price tag, and ignore all of the red flags. As I was able to see that it's Flagathon, it helped me with my Google search, but you know, we know that the more words we put into Google, the easier or more precise we find the information. I have a very vivid memory. For example, these fake crab meat. When I see it, when I eat it, I remember back to the time in Cambodia when my friend and I was sent from school to go to print some paper for the teacher. My school at the time was very poor, didn't have any printer on campus, so we had to go to a place that prints stuff. Super common before, not so much now. My friend and I, we would take a detour to a gas station and buy these, and it was just lovely because it cost a lot for our age and it was just exotic to us. So when I see this, you know, like for example, the Flagathon Spring Summer 20, I think, okay, COVID had just started. Rick Owens and the team had to cancel the show and did the photo shoot, blah, 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 blah. I think about how Boston was free of traffic. I think about how empty the beach was. I remember how I was just going to school one day, and then the next day we all got an email saying, hey, everything's online now. The tag also triggered my journey of acquiring said piece with the pannier. Took me months. I was going to give up and get the double cargo ballast at the time because it had recently just came out, but then one popped up in my size and not that used, so I got these instead. And I'm just thankful that I didn't compromise because I do love the pannier a lot more than the double cargo ballast. One of Rick's point was not contributing to disposability. Rick Owens is already the antithesis of disposability. The clothes have a timelessness to them. People still lust over product from Mountain, from Dustillator, Glitter, Release, Limo. It would make more sense for Balenciaga to remove season stamp if they did the stamp now that Demna is gone. So they will fool some people who didn't know Demna had left to still buy the product thinking it got the stamp of approval from Demna. Pun intended, I ran out of my breath a little bit, and that was meticulously chosen. Salma Hayek's husband will make Piccolo design the same stuff Demna was designing because it was working. That's my prediction anyway. We will see when the collection comes out. Let's play a game. What season is this jacket from? Here's the answer. What season is this jacket from? Here's the answer. Okay, look at these two. Are they from the same season or different? Here's the answer. I'm banking on the fact that none of you got it wrong and the fact that I did it so fast that you didn't have time to think or even think of one before I moved on. You don't need to remove the tag to signify that it's timelessness, to signify that your brand is not disposable. The brand as a whole is already timeless. While most of Rick's stuff are black and white and pastel, brown, blah, 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 Rick does pick a color or two, vibrant colors for a particular season. For example, Larry is known for the orange, Gethsemane is known for the green, brown for moody, blue for performer. Think of the seasonal stamp as chapters to a book. While it's not necessary because the book is one singular story, it would help the reader immensely when they need to share their favorite chapter of the book to their friends or favorite line of the book, you know what I mean? Blocking the long story that is Rick Owens into chapter helps the consumer organize and just plain easy to share with others Rick Owens fan. Again, I'm over explaining. Presently speaking, the wash stack has no stamp or print indicating which season the product is from. If the post had said, we're removing the stamp, but don't worry, we'll print the name on of the collection on the wash stack so you guys will know which season it's from, I would be okay, but they didn't. So they didn't in the post. Without the seasonal stamp, harder to identify the product. Again, I proved it with the game earlier, and Rick released a lot of similar looking product and re-releases product. It helps to know which season it's from. A big enough seller would not know which collection this jacket is from or that pants are from when they list, so it's harder for us to authenticate the product or to know as a consumer. Let's say there are two jackets, the same in material, size, and shit, but one is from Larry, one is from Dirt. I love Larry, so I will pick the Larry one over Dirt for the simple fact that Larry is my favorite. I hope Rick Owens reverses this decision or adjusts by adding a print or name onto the wash tag if the team really is headstrong about this decision. Okay, that's the end of my thought. Put some comment on the screen right now, Editor Makasy. This way I am still blind, but I'm sure all of them will share the same sentiment. It's just that unlike them, they did it in a comment and I decided to make a video out of it. Let me know what you think in the comment down below. Goodbye.